my God, everybody. Hey, this goes out to Joseph Manella, our buddy. He wanted me to put Alice Cooper's Love It to Death versus Leppard's High and Dry. And by the way, that's AI. You know, in the distant future, when somebody watches this video, if YouTube is still around, hopefully it will be after I'm gone. I hope all these videos are still there when I'm dead. I hope, you know, because in the distant future, when people see this video, if they're watching right now, 20 years after the fact, they're going to be like, AI, it's kind of like what we think of Betamax, you know, it's so dated and all. But anyway, this is AI, and to prove it, the junkies that work in the Almost Human laboratory, I told them, look, I want you to get me the AI of Love It to Death. I want you to get me the poser version that has a little thing saying featuring I'm 18, because that was after I'm to 18 was a hit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the poser version. Now, I love It to Death. Love that album. One of my favorite, probably my third favorite. Killers, $1 Billion Babies, Love It to Death. Those to me are the fucking greatest Alice Cooper albums, period, including his solo stuff. I'm more of an Alice Cooper band guy, but I like a lot of his solo stuff. High and Dry I like more. I think it's a better album. I do. So this is going to be a good matchup because, you know, let's see. Let's see how it turns out for me. Let's see how it turns out for you in the comments below. All right, we start with Caught in a Dream versus Let It Go. Definitely giving it to Let It Go. Caught in a Dream is a great song, but I don't think it's a good opener for the album. I'll discuss what the good opener is when we get to that song, if I remember. Next, I'm 18 versus Another Hit and Run. I love I'm 18, but Another Hit and Run, I love more. Another one for Def Leppard. All right, next, Long Way to Go versus High and Dry. Long Way to Go should have been the song to open the album, in my opinion. High and Dry, I love it. Saturday Night High and Dry rules, but I'm giving that one to Alice. We still got a long way to go. That's some killer 70s hard rock with no preservatives. All right, next, Black Juju versus Bringing On the Heartbreak. I love Bringing On the Heartbreak, but I'm going with Alice on that one. Black Juju. That song is epic, is all epics. All right. Then, all right, let's pick a random album. Let's go right here. So this episode is being brought to you by Joseph Manella and... Oh, let me tell you something about this. All right, I bought the first Mammoth, but you know, I did it to support Eddie's Kid. And then this came out. I said, you know what? I'm going to support Eddie's Kid again. So I bought this. I played it, and I'm like, about 2-3 weeks ago, I said, oh, you know what? Let me listen to this because it's really good. I gotta go back. I have the first Mammoth. I gotta listen to the first Mammoth. Maybe I'm gonna change my mind on that too. But this is great. I stand corrected. And you know, I saw this tour. He came down here. He headlined the Revolution. I was there. I saw him perform. And that night, I thought, hey, you know, these songs sound better live than the album. But you know, I never hear the album. I listened to it once, and that was it. One and done. Well, I ended up really liking this, so I'm going to check out Mammoth 1 and see if I like that. And I know he has a third one coming out, and I'm going to buy it, but not on vinyl. I'm going to buy it on CD because I don't buy vinyl anymore for new releases. I'm done with that, unless it's a good price, you know? CDs are cheaper and they sound just as good as vinyl that's pressed for newer albums, in my opinion. All right, here we go. Side 2. Is It My Body? Oh, Wow, do I love that song. Versus Switch 625. I love it too, but Alice. I gotta give it to Alice. Alright, next. Hallowed be thy name, be my name. Versus You Got Me Running, You Got Me. That song's fun. It's a killer. Great song to open up track 2. But no, man. I gotta go with Hallowed Be My Name. I like that one more. Sorry with excuse me. Alright, next. Second Coming versus Lady Strange. I love Second Coming, but no. Lady Strange, tied for my favorite Def Leppard song. I'm giving that to Def Leppard. Alright, next. Ballad of Dwight Fry versus On Through the Night. I love that song. I saw Def Leppard open with On Through the Night when I saw them open for Ozzy when they were on the High and Dry tour, and Ozzy was on the Blizzard. So I was right up front on the right side in front of Pete Willis and Randy Rhoads all night. Now, man, I can die tomorrow. I can die tomorrow, and still 20 years from now, people will say, man, AI, it's like Betamax. All right. I gotta go with Ballad of Dwight Fry, though. I gotta get out of here. What a great tune, man. It's so moody and dark and amazing. And amazing seeing them do it live with the straight jacket. It wins. All right, now Sunrise versus Mirror Mirror. I gotta go with Mirror Mirror because Mirror Mirror is a song that's tied for my favorite Def Leppard song with High and Dry. Now there's no more songs on the Alice Cooper. There's still what's that song? No, 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 which I love. No, no, no. But it's going against nothing, so got to deal with what we got here. There ain't no bonus tracks on either album. I mean, on the Alice album. If there was, I would have added it. But anyway, Joseph, there's a final score. And would you look at that? See, it's all luck of the draw, people. High and Dry lost. But I like High and Dry more. That's just the way the cookie rolls down the anthill. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't. Anyway, thank you, Joseph Manella. You rule. And everybody out there, y'all rule as well. If you'd like to donate, I got a PayPal in the description below. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring the little notification bell and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Love It to Death and High and Dry. Or F off. And schmack 'em a gob.